Welcome to DowerChin.com. Today we're going to take a look at a tiny little keyboard. It's called the Rii Slim Bluetooth Keyboard. And what it really is, it is as you can see, it's a small backlit keyboard for, well, whatever device you want to hook up to, be it a phone, tablet, or PC. So let's take a look at what's inside, what you get with it. And so here we can see it's a pretty small keyboard. It's actually smaller than my phone. So let's take a look after taking the plastic off. You can see that it's got a full set of keys. It's actually got function keys because they're actually very important distinction if you want to use it for a PC, for example. My goal is going to be using it for one of my tablets, and actually one of my Windows tablets. So having function keys is going to be very important because, well, function keys aren't very useful for Android or iPhone uh, tablets or iOS tablets. So a lot of them will not have function keys. So if you want to do like an Alt F4 or something like that on a Windows side, you're going to be out of luck with one of those kind of keyboards. So this one actually has function keys. That's a very important one. Has that little different other functions. It's got backlighting. It's got some LEDs to indicate information here. Flipping it over, I believe this is the sync button for it, and it's a mini USB for powering it up, and there's an on-off switch. So basically turning it on, you can see that the LED goes on. I just got this, so I'm not sure what charge level there is, and I haven't looked at what else this thing can do. But I'm going to sync it up to the device shortly, and we'll see what it offers. So what else do we get inside? Let's look. We got the mini USB charging cable and a manual. So that's about it. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to hook it up to a couple of devices, or at least one device, and I'll take a look and get back to you about how it performs. All right, welcome back. And so now what I'm going to do is I configured the Rii Slim keyboard to work along with my Asus Vivotab Note 8, just to demonstrate how well it works, or what you can do with it. I'm gonna use my executive pen as well. So just ignore that. But I'm going to talk about that device right there. Let's take a real quick look at it in comparison size-wise to the this guy. It's about the same, almost the same. Well, it's a little bit taller than the Note here. It's not a lot bigger though. As you can see, kind of actually when you put them side by side, it actually is just lined up right on top. So it's kind of a nice size to kind of carry around. Let's just power up my Note real quick here. So the power going here. All right, there we go. So I got Photoshop running. If you can see that with all the glare, I apologize for the glare. And I'm going to turn the keyboard on. And so you see that the little green LED here shows that it's working. And so what I can do now is I can basically from here hit the Control N for a new document. And I'm going to basically tab over to here. And I'll say I want a 1000 by what is that? Let's say 600 tall image. Hit enter, and there it is. There's that. So it's kind of cool. Then I can basically start beginning to work here. So now what's kind of cool is I can hit the Z key here to zoom in, and basically basically work like I would normally in Photoshop. Um, and then hit the B key here, and I can start looking at the different brushes and start drawing as well on here. I can basically swap colors, X, zoom in some more. Exit from there, hit the space bar down, pan, go back to the brushes, pick a different color here, go for the red color, and do some, and then basically, the only funny thing I have here is that the square brackets, which are the default for brush size on Photoshop, is a red key, which means I have the FN key. So I kind of have to kind of play a little bit to get there. And you can always reassign the keys in Photoshop. I just haven't done that. So then from here I can basically draw what I want. And pan around. And then basically, if I want to, I hit Control J to make a new layer. I can double tap here and get the new layer name. So I can pick this up and test, enter, and there it is, which is kind of cool. So it's a very nice little handy little thing to have around to carry along with you. So you can basically use tools like Photoshop that isn't really quite touch friendly and likes to have keys around. Obviously, there are things you can use besides that. Like for example, I have all these iPad keyboards lying around. For example, like this is my Logitech ultra thin keyboard. As you can see, it's fairly sizable in comparison. The only benefit might be is that is I can maybe set it up in the groove here, although the Logitech one doesn't fit very well. Another one that I have that I sort of can use is the Zag, which actually has a bigger groove, which allows it to work well too. The only problem with these iPad ones is that they have no function keys. I mean, these are functions that are dedicated that would typically be F1, F2, and so forth, but they don't. They're not real function keys. So that's going to be kind of something to look out for if you don't. If you want to pick up a keyboard for the device, I chose this one particularly because it has on the top row here, if you can see, in the functions, F1 all the way through F9, all the way up to F12 over here, as well as cursor keys. So this is actually very well laid out, which and it's very, very handy because it's a dedicated escape key, a dedicated tab key, even a dedicated caps lock key, along with the main functions here. So Alt, for example, if you use Photoshop to grab colors, you can use Alt for that. Space bar right here. So it's very, very nicely laid out. I really do like this keyboard a lot. Yeah, it's also it's kind of like a little bit of a it's not a smooth plastic. It's kind of it's a little grippy, which is kind of nice because then when you lay it down on a surface, it's not going to slide around too much. So you can reach over and tap it. The only if I had to nitpick and say something I wish it didn't have, I wish I had a micro USB port for charging. It's got a mini USB port. So the only drawback then is I got to carry around a cable for this, as opposed to like, for example, I have a micro USB here, I have a mini over here. It would have been nice if they snuck one in there. That's probably the only negative I have to say about this thing. 'Cause otherwise, it's really kind of a nice keyboard because you even have a Windows key and well, the big thing is it's also got backlighting, so it's kind of nice if you want to work in a low light situation. So, all right, so there you have it. It's a quick look at using the Rii Slim keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard, for tied to my Asus Note 8. You can probably tie it to your Surface just as nicely as any other machine. The keys are ample size for thumbs. I think they're fine. Although my hands aren't overly large, but this is actually very comfortable to use. I do like it. I like it a lot. I would recommend it. They have one that I'll probably pick up later on that actually has a mouse attached to it. It's a little bit bigger. I'll give that one a shot and see how that works. But there you have it. Once again, a look at the Rii Slim Bluetooth keyboard for PC or whatever else you want. Thanks for watching.